What's going on, Sip? Hope y'all find yourself in a healthy, happy space. Like I told my son last night, you can look at this situation, your life and your experiences currently as half full or half empty. So I was just telling him that he needs to start looking at the situation as half full and always look for the positive take from whatever you're going through. But I wanted to talk about the hypocrisy of MAGA and the president and his entourage. I'll just call him entourage because he's like a rapper with a bunch of guys that don't have nothing to do, don't serve no purpose except for to lick his boots and kiss his ring. So the FBI, the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, I was looking into his background, and so he's a guy that's from Florida, or he's I don't know where he's from. I don't really care, but he may have lived in Florida because he served as a prosecutor in Dade County in Florida, and he also serves as a southern federal prosecutor in the southern part of Florida. So he has litigation experience, you understand. But when it comes to terms of law enforcement, FBI intelligence type experience, this joker has none. And so it's ironic that on one hand, the president, Cheeto, the Orange Julius, Cheeto, Blob the Builder, Cheeto Man says, we don't want DEI. But then in turn turns around and makes a DEI hire. So his whole cabinet, his whole staff, everybody around him is a DEI hire. And here's the thing, in employment, or when you want to fill a position, you want the best possible person or the best candidate to fill that position, regardless of the position. It could be mopping floors. It could be customer service. It could be leading a team of 10 salespeople. So you want the best potential candidate to fill that position, right? So historically what happened is that people that don't look like me, not orange people, but clear people, lighter hue people, what they've done in the past is because of their mindset, they've looked out for their own or people that look like them. And so there has not always been the best possible candidate filling the position. Again, whether it's mopping floors, leading a sales team of 10 people, or you understand what I'm saying? So historically, that's what we've gone through. And it has left other races, other candidates off to the side. And we're talking about you can this is across the board. And so what happens though, or what happened is that then we started having diversity, equity, and inclusion, meaning that, hey, white men control everything, or they want to be in control of everything. And the way that you control something is put somebody in the position that either thinks like you, looks like you, acts like you, right? Or has the same mindset, the same mentality, comes from the same place that you come from. So with the DEI, we started seeing people of all races, all nationalities start filling positions through a gamut of industries, as well as private, public, and governmental sectors of life. And so with this current president, he don't like that. You'll notice he go back, he's always speaking derogatory about women, especially women of African American descent, him and his people, right? They say they're not qualified, but just not African Americans, or just not women, but African Americans in general. So what they've done is they've done away with DEI. meaning that you don't have to hire people, or give other people an opportunity to fill a position or to be a part of your company, because it'll all look lily white. And who wants that? You understand what I'm saying? Who wants something to be all lily white? Except for white folks. But then they don't even want it. And I say that because the NBA was all white, and what did they do? They started letting black people play. Because it's no fun just looking at a bunch of white guys, right? That's my take on it. You understand? So what happens is that Cheeto Man and his putting people around him, we'll do another video on power. So what he's done is that he's surrounded himself with people that's gonna kiss his ass, lick his boots, and kiss his ring, and do as told. Yeah, they're gonna lick his boots, kiss his ass, kiss his ring, and do as told. And jump when he says jump. So basically he has a puppet in all of these positions because they're gonna do exactly what he says, right? So going back to the DEI thing is that we don't want diversity, equity, and inclusion, but then you go hire a man that's of Indian descent and don't have any experience when they say, oh, we want the best qualified candidate, which in their mind always means white. You see the irony in that? The irony in that? Yeah, we want the best qualified candidate. Oh, we want the best. But then you go hire a sucker that don't have zero fucking experience and say to lead the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigations. He's an attorney, but he leads all of these guys. He's the head. He's at the top of the pyramid, right? How ironic is that nonsense? But guess what? It ain't about that. But again, they put all this stuff in front of you like this right here. They'll put all of these things in front of you and tell you, hey, focus on this because you can't see what this finger is doing when you focusing on these. Too many, we fall for the okie doke. Well, the American people fall for the okie doke. I see it. You understand what I'm saying? We fall for the okie doke because we listen to what comes out of his mouth and don't. That's why magic is so, when you go to get amazed, these people, it's a sleight of hand. Smoke and mirrors. So you go hire, we want the best, but then you go hire a guy that don't have zero fucking experience. Yeah, let that one sink in for a minute. Let that one sink in. If you were hiring somebody, so here's the question. Would you go and hire somebody that does not have any experience doing whatever it is that you do? Yeah. But that's what Cheeto Man is doing. That's what the Red Hat Rockers are rolling with. And they standing by it. But they don't even believe the shit themselves. They just going with it because everybody else is going with it. They don't think for themselves. It's just do whatever this man says do, regardless of how hideous or how crazy it is. Just go with it. No DEI, and then they're gonna hire a guy with zero experience. Just don't make any sense, man. But hey, that's what it is. That's what we have to live with. That's what we're up against for the next 3 years, right? This guy done got $300 billion since January. But hey, who am I? Sip, sip.